spirits.
Hi guys, this is Shane and Andrew
Hi guys.
from GSI West Yorkshire and also the GSI family. I'm going to quickly bring Neil Cook in, who's a spirit medium for the GSI family and also part of the GSI North East side, so there we go. Hi Neil.
Good evening,
Hi, Neil.
guys. Hope you're all well.
Yep, very well. It's only been a minute since I spoke to you. Yep. And hi guys for watching. There's quite a few so far. And first, just want to say we're very sorry Cindy is not able to actually make it tonight. She's going to be coming on either next week or the week after, and it's purely because she lives in one of the affected areas in America where she's basically had to evacuate her home. She's only just on her way back today, or it'll be tomorrow, Thursday UK time, to actually see whether her house is actually still standing. So she's been badly affected by the horrible weather, and I know quite a lot of our other fans have as well, so we wish you all well and we really hope everyone's okay and all your homes and possessions are all fine as well. All your family, all your loved ones, everyone's fine. We do send our love from everyone at GSI.
Definitely.
And hopefully we'll get Cindy on very soon to speak to us again. But we just send her our love and hope everything's okay when she goes back to her home. I know she uprooted all the trees in around the house just to make sure they don't blow over onto the roof and things. So that's it anyway. So do you have anything to say before we start doing the usual shout outs? I know Deborah's on already. Hi Deborah.
I've had a cucumber sandwich and it's really repeating on me, so you'll have to excuse if I belch wind.
You want to try a banana sandwich? They're a lot better. You don't get repeating anything coming back up.
Banana.
I was if that was me out.
That'd be quite nice actually, with peanut butter or something. Ooh.
Make a cat purr, that one.
Anyway, we're not doing paranormal tonight. We're going to do our favourite sandwich combination.
Yeah, we've got Gordon Ramsay in.
And I'm really sorry actually because I've got our door shut and the cat's meowing like mad. Just going meow, 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 meow. There we go. 5 times.
Yeah. Few shout outs. Sandra, Courtney and Sean, Vicky who's in the other room, Debbie Davies, Mags, Vicky Richards, who else? Kaz who's on holiday somewhere in a nice place warm. I haven't got my list in front of me. I've got too many screens on here and I'm struggling with who's who. But yeah, all the people who are following us, not only on my wall but on the GSI walls. Big thank you, Craig Whitney. Hope you're viewing. Brad Kitchen, Kieran, if you're watching, mate, and everyone else who's watching. As I see your names, I'll give you a shout out if I've missed you guys.
Brilliant. And I'm just bringing up our favourite word generator. What can be manipulated by spirits? If you want to have a little, see if you can get the name right. It's just said fig.
Fig sandwich.
Yeah, fig sandwich. There you go. It's Alice Box. So it's our favourite toy. What you get to see every week, and we will put all the words what's been in this in this word generator here. In the actual log, sorry, we'll put them up after this actual stream because there's been a few so far. Did you just say Jenny, by the way, a while ago, Neil? Because it has brought up the word Jenny. I can't remember if that was one of the names you said.
No, I don't think I did. No, right. I don't have a Jenny in my vocabulary. Debbie Barford, good evening. Chris Summerfield, good evening. Dude, hope you're well. And Dudettes, yeah.
Dudette.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, I'm sure Bex will be watching as well. Or is she at the Spiritualist Church at the minute, Chris? I don't know whether she finishes about 9, so she might be watching on the bus on the way home. But yeah, the
you get Wi-Fi on the bus.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, free
you can do it now.
Can you?
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi.
Hey, oh, coming up in the world. What's that?
Cup's ready.
It's really bright, mate. You'll have to
Hold it back a
tilt
bit.
it slightly.
That way, then I'll spill it. I probably got it the wrong way around.
Oh yeah, it's GSI. I've got mine. I've took it downstairs. I've got
It's on vodka instead.
a Koppenberg Swedish cider, but it's just water.
Yeah, from the tap.
Council pot. Yeah. Hi Rachel. Yeah. So what we'll do first, actually, we'll speak about something what I didn't even really think about. I've always been a bit sceptical about this sort of thing till it's actually it's happened this week. Actually, first before I do go into it, I just want to say thank you to.
Sorry about that.
That was Andrew's phone. Callum, Andrew's son's, lent me this other night just to test, which is an all singing, all dancing mic. So, hello. That's why the sound quality is so much better than usual. So, yeah. Anyway, back to what happened earlier on in the week. I'm on a massive weight loss regime. I've lost about nearly 2.5 stone in 6 weeks now. What I do every morning is try to get weighed every morning, and obviously your weight fluctuates throughout the week. You're only supposed to get weighed once a week. So my wife has hid the scales. Tara, she's upstairs in bed at the minute trying to get an early night, but she's hid the scales, and she says they are hidden in plain sight, but because I do a man look, I'm never going to be able to find them. So and it's true, I've looked all over the house when I've been frustrated a couple of days before my weigh day and just wanting to actually find out where they are, but I've not been able to. So I started having a moan about this to Neil whilst he was on Skype, whilst me and Tara are in our house. Neil and Vicky are in his living room, and it's exactly the same view as what I've got now. Or were you on your bed? I can't remember. But you started to try to connect to see if you could figure out where these scales were, but then Tara basically sent you a private message through Messenger saying where they were, and you says, Shane, I'll tell you, but I'll do it telepathically. And I thought, oh come on, what a load of...
Yeah, it does sound outrageous, doesn't it?
Just sounds ridiculous.
It sounds.
So I says, go on then, I'll humour you. And there's a picture actually on the GSI page. There's a picture on my wall, and there's a picture on Neil's wall of me doing this, because Tara were humouring it as well, I suppose. And I had my phone confiscated, so there's no way I could cheat. I want to know where these scales are, and so Neil had me put my wedding ring finger. There's an actual spiritual name for that.
It's called the Apollo finger.
Okay, the Apollo Creed finger from Rocket. Right, so I basically put my finger on the actual screen, basically touching, and Neil was doing the same at his side. And literally about a second later, once I cleared my mind and started concentrating, I got an image of a door. Not a door in my house, just a random door. I've no idea why. So then I said, are you joking? What is going on? Are you taking the mick now? Are you being serious? And you said, yeah, deadly serious, clear your mind. Yeah, I've already got something through, but I don't know why. So it was obviously I was getting something symbolically through, but then 50% symbol, 50% I had to use common sense and think, well, it's not going to be in front of the door because I would have already seen it when I'm walking around the house. It's not going to be above the door or below the door. That's physically impossible. So it's going to be behind the door. So I basically says, I'm getting a door, and I think it's behind the door. And yeah, it was. I've got a picture of where it actually was. It was behind the door in our spare bedroom. So when I had a look the day after, it was actually there, exactly where Neil telepathically told me. So it just mind blew me. And then number two, just to prove that this actually worked, he basically did it again, but without putting a finger on the screen. He basically he basically got a piece of paper. Neil had a piece of paper. He drew something what I couldn't see. I then was told, go back, clear your mind, go back and draw something as if you're a child. What would you draw as a child? But when I was a child, I used to draw cars and action men and all sorts of army men, things like that. Yeah, Barbie dolls, yeah. But for some reason, at first, I slightly got an urge to draw a cat, but then it quickly changed into a house, a little house, just a square, 4 little square windows, square door, triangular roof. But Tara actually got that image as well, because she were concentrating. Neil held up his picture, a house. I held up my picture, practically exactly the same. The only difference is he had squirrely smoke coming out of the chimney in the house. And I still think in my mind now, the reason I picked up on a cat was because I could see the squirrely bit in my head, and I probably were thinking it was a tail or something. But that's two things in one night, which I didn't even think was possible. I just thought it's the sort of stuff what you see with Uri Geller when he's bending spoons, and you think, come on. But then he's actually done that through Skype. So, do you want to explain a bit about the actual principles behind what actually happened? Because it's just crazy.
Telepathy has been going back an awful long time. And in all fairness, I haven't researched anything to give you any dates, times, and specific names around the people who were first founders of this thing. But scientists are saying that the ability to use parts of your minds and use them for different things has been around for a long, long time. The cards, the Zener cards, if anyone's not familiar with them, there were 4 little cards. One had a circle on, one had a box, one had some squiggly lines, and I forget what the other one was, whether it was like a $like sign or a hashtag sign. And if you've ever watched the Ghostbusters movie, the original one, where he sat there with these cards, and no matter what she guesses, he claims she's right anyway. Those were the Zener cards, and the person holding the card would then project this image across to the person who's in with the test, they're doing the test with. Now, another way of using Zener cards, but without the cards, is well, one of the ways was through your hands, through the palm side of things. Now, the wedding ring finger, which is classed as the sacred finger, or it's also known as Apollo finger, is something quite symbolic to use. With different tests and being blinded, people have the ability not only to touch a surface of something, but actually tell you what colour it is, whether it's a hot colour, a cold colour, and your senses in this finger, yeah, that's in there, plus sign, squiggle, square and star. And people have that ability through the Apollo finger, or the ring finger, which is this hand actually, sorry, and you can receive and send through that. Now, what we did as an experiment was I got Shane, exactly how he's just said, to put his Apollo finger, his wedding ring finger, up on the TV screen, and like you would have saw years ago when Uri Geller was sat there with his clocks and his spoons, and he said, I'll focus on this and watch this. We put our fingers together on the screen, a bit like being in jail, wasn't it? I was on the telephone saying, I'll see you next Tuesday, I'll be out. But no, it was similar to that, and I sent my telepathic message down the finger, symbolically touching Shane's ring finger, and projected where, well, I'd received a message from Tara, who's Shane's wife, to tell me where these were. And because I couldn't psychically project where they were, then we did it through this telepathic way. And I sent him the image. I kept showing him an image. I'm not fully familiar with the interior of Sean's house. So in order to do it, because I knew it was behind a door, I got the image to be of a swinging barn-like door, back and forth, knowing that this door had to be opened. And I just told him to say what he said. Say what he sees, yeah, and funny enough, he said, I've got a door.
I noticed it was the cleaning cupboard that was behind. So you won't be going in there, would it?
It's a spare bedroom, it's just that one there, mate.
Yeah, right, that's the cleaning cupboard.
That's where the boiler is, there, and that's that door that's just out on the land there, and that's a sign of what we used to have stuck on here until we had it decorated. I've got the pictures up, by the way, Neil, in the background, just to show.
I'm
you can see
now, yeah.
my fingers on the screen, and you can just slightly see Neil's shiny head there.
That's that glow.
But yeah, the telepathy and psychometry, which is another way of doing this method. Anyone who's familiar with psychometry, something which has a personal connection to yourself, whether it be a picture of a loved one in spirit, something which belonged to him, a portrait, a lock of hair, even down to the granddad's medals, which are on his, which he used to have, which you now have kept him as a mark of respect. A lot of energy is attached attached to these items. They were much loved items. Even what I was saying the other day on my Facebook wall was people who are trying to connect with spirit who don't believe they have that ability. Even if you've got something similar to what I've just described, and you do it yourself and build up their energy and talk to them out loud, then it's very much the same thing. It's I can't even say the word now, but it's bringing spirit closer to you, and through psychometry, you're making that connection. And a similar way with Shane, obviously we weren't physically touching, symbolically we were, and using, like I say, the Apollo finger, doing the connection that way, and then sending him that image of what. I'm surprised I even sent him the right. It's just full of bits. It's like a car crash at time. But yeah, he got exactly what he saw and said, and
it confused me more because I got a door and I'm thinking, well, if it's a door, it's in my house. Why have I got a different door? It's not the same colour or anything. And then when afterwards you told me, well, I was sending the image of a swing door to you, just symbolically, which then freaked me out even more because I'm like, I even got the type of door like what you were sending me, and just how is this stuff even possible? You just things happen. I know it's not really paranormal, but it's just it's in a similar sort of genre.
It's in a similar field, isn't it, of the brain activity and things like that. Talk about paranormal. We released our footage this week. For those who've seen it on our wall and liked and shared and commented, thank you very much. For people who are local to where I am in the northeast of England, you may have seen it in the local newspaper. It's gone live in there. It's also gone live on a website called Breaking News Teesside, and it's also on the web pages of the same newspaper, gazettelive.co.uk. A lot of feedback, a lot of people tagging people in it. We've had some good responses and we've had some negative responses. Now, we don't rise to negative comments. It's actually a good thing, because the more people comment about negative side of things, the more it becomes a debate, and then it creates an argument and a chat, and it also makes it become more popular, because everyone wants to join in on the conversation. Half are on the fence saying, yeah, it could well be, it's paranormal. The other half are saying it's probably car lights passing. But the thing is, it keeps it going, it keeps it live, the energy which we want. And we put it there for you. We haven't said it's this, we haven't said it's that. We've told you exactly how we've seen it, and me as I've connected to it. Take it on face value, but we appreciate everything you say anyway.
Yep, I've got the footage. I'll bring it up in a second. I'm just gonna go through Rebecca, or Beck, so she doesn't like to be called Becky, so don't call her Becky Neal. I love psychometry. I've done it in 2 classes. Got so much from the items I were given. Hi Samantha Baker. Chris is Rebecca's other half. He's talking about Alice Box, because someone was saying it's throwing up some very strange things tonight. Yeah, sometimes obviously it's not relevant, but then sometimes it just comes out with mind-blowingly relevant things. Kieran, Carey, Body, psychometry when done well in our meditation group, very good as an introduction to energy. Colleen Marie Sloan, hi everyone. If you ever get in Ireland, get in touch. We could join teams and do an investigation. We visit Leek Castle. That's one of my bucket list places, to be honest.
What, Leek Castle?
Yeah, is that one of the most active locations in the world? Apparently, or am I thinking of somewhere else in Ireland?
Leek Castle, it is. It's so popular with the paranormal field. The people of like Zach Bagans and Nick Groff and his team, and some of the not so popular people in the TV world have been as well. Very active, you know what I mean? It's a very active location. Personally, I haven't been there myself, but the thing is, from what I've read about it, it's a place which we should include on our bucket list on our tours the forthcoming year as well. But yeah, Lee Stee, you've just popped in and said hello. I'm okay, thank you for joining us if you're still with us. He did ask you a question. He asked me a question.
I've just read that now, mate. Yeah.
You can share that information with Lee.
If I can, I will do a monitor capture now
Yeah.
And I will. It's gonna go weird because I've got the YouTube video on, and then I will drag. I've got 2 monitors doing this, so I will drag over exactly what I'm using. So Paranormal Unity. There's no competition. We've all got the same goal. It looks weird because obviously this is showing my monitor. So obviously, if I minimise this, then all you'll see is a black again. But I'll just do that so I can bring it back up. But it's called OBS. There's 2 versions. There's OBS or there's OBS Studio, and it's pretty complicated. You need to be a bit of a techie to use it. But you can basically, I can manipulate this and make Neil dance live, and you'll see from your side. All you'll basically see is Neil dancing on the screen.
But in all fairness, Daniels makes me dance. You don't need that.
Yeah, and this is how we work it. You'll still hear us talking that I've got all the. I can bring in. That's how I bring in the social media adverts. Like, if you could see there's all the little scenes here. Each scene you've got. You can bring a video in on one. You can have 2 webcams on this one webcam on that one. Alice Box alone. Alice Box with webcams. The possibilities are endless. It's designed for gaming, but obviously I've introduced it into this, and it just makes things look a bit more professional. And in each scene then you add everything what you need to be on here. So that's how we do it. But obviously to actually get this to work we have to jump through a few hurdles, because you get basically an endless echo of Neil talking through my mic talking through his, and it's just going, and all you can hear is just an echo constantly like Pat's. So we've had to basically go through all proxy servers, and then I have to send it to him, and then he has to send it back to me, then to Facebook, and it gets a bit complicated. But that's the software what we're using. I'm sure Lee will be able to figure that one out. But if you want to message me, feel free, mate.
The ringers on the Skype now. We'll bring him on and have a chat with him if you're listening. Lee, the more the merrier.
Yeah, if you add me to Skype, I can literally bring you in now live. I'll just change this. Whilst we're on this footage, actually, I might as well show you the actual footage, because the main bit's going to be in this area anyway. So I've muted the sound so we can talk over it. But there we go. This is on YouTube as we speak now. It's a shortened version if you've not already seen it. So this is the Fox in Gisborough. We've already worked upstairs. This is on our way downstairs, and this is that's a pretty active area with a little girl, I believe, called Jennifer. Is it?
Jennifer, yeah.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah. So we were trying to interact. If you can see the red light in the box, that's an EM pump basically. So that can fire out more energy to try to make things happen. Especially if you're doing an EVP session, an EM pump's a very good piece of kit to use, and they're pretty cheap as well. So all it is a magnet what's spinning around really fast on a motor, and it creates an electromagnetic field, and that's the stuff what sends the K2 meters full red. So if you put a K2 near it, you're going to get false readings, obviously. But what we're trying to do is get things to happen here. At this point, we did actually have a stick figure on a Connect stud here, but what happened also, we were getting weird light anomalies from the people at the top of the stairs. So we says, right, me and Andrew walking down the stairs now with the camera into the bar area.
There was nobody in there at all, was there?
No, it's just
everybody was upstairs. Everybody was upstairs.
Yeah.
The landlord himself, myself, Vicky, my daughter Courtney, and a few other people who were
the contractors
guests were staying in the hotel on that night. We had to include them because obviously we were making a bit of a noise. Where we were stood, just in the background, watching the main monitor, the only way I could describe what I was initially seeing, if there was someone on the stairs where Vicky is on that video, and they just kept flashing a digital camera up the stairs. It was illuminating the wall, and I actually turned to ask Courtney how many pictures was she taking, because it was repeated. Then I realised she was sat at the side of me with a camera sat in her lap, and the camera was switched off. So I then asked who was taking the pictures, and Andrew and Shane and Vicky confirmed, well, no one's got the camera out anyway. The only camera we had down there was in Andrew's pocket.
It was, yeah.
And each and every one of us all said, more or less, over the top of each other, we sat watching someone taking pictures, and the whole of the wall was being illuminated if though someone was taking pictures. And it was so baffling because it wasn't coming from the little central church-like window in the middle in over. It was coming from Vicky's area, that sounds rude, up onto the wall and illuminating the place. And like the only way, without repeating myself, could say it was if though someone was stood next to Vicky going snap, 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 over and over. It was going flash, flash. Light anomalies, unexplainable, paranormal, that's all we can say. No other explanation. There wasn't any lights on in there. There was no dodgy bulb or fluorescent tubing, which the starting motor wasn't working on it, and it just kept flickering. Total darkness, except for these flashes. So, yeah, we put it down to paranormal. And Shane and Andrew go off to investigate that, which I've just rudely interrupted, and he's going to take over from now.
No, it's fine, mate. It's absolutely fine. George as well, by the way, he says, I really wish I could be on your show to tell my terrifying story, and we are welcoming anyone. If they've got any experiences they want to share, we are going to be having them on.
Send us the details and a Skype contact we can contact you with.
Yep.
And as we go through our timetables of people who we've got forthcoming, we'll gladly talk to you prior, then bring you on the show. Yeah.
Yep. We should have had Cindy on today, who's been possessed twice and had to be exorcised twice. But because of the weather over in the Florida area and all that side of America, she's had to evacuate her house, so she's still not actually back at home, and it's not really appropriate to have her on at the minute. So
she's not even sure what her house looks like at the moment,
no,
which is absolutely
not have a roof on or anything. So hopefully everything's okay.
Fingers crossed, it's okay.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I'll just carry on now.
No, just entering the bar.
Is anyone else having problems, by the way, with this live stream? Can you please let us know? Because I've just had Lee's just message me saying that it's not loading on his phone. So, I don't know.
Motorola 3210.
Yeah, you can't watch these on Nokia's, mate. Yeah, I'll carry on now. So we've just gone down into the bar area just to see if we could figure out anything what could have been causing these weird light anomalies. Because myself and Andrew stood looking over Vicky, we couldn't see a thing.
No, nothing at all. So I walked down with the camera, didn't I? I just scanned it, as you can see. I scanned it into the room, looked around, back again, and we can see what we caught. But we never actually saw it at the time.
No. So I'll just wind it back slightly. There we go. So this is it.
Just
it happens really quick. And just keep watching the yellow area. There you go. So I will. We'll keep it playing because I'm replaying.
It's on loop, isn't it? Yeah.
But if you just see basically a shadow figure just walking, and
the camera's out of focus because it's trying to focus on something, but because it can't really initialize what it is, and that's why you can't get the focus straight away.
It's not often I come out and say, yeah, I believe something's paranormal. And
no, we always try and look at the.
Yeah, we always like to say, you make your own mind up, guys. So again, make your own minds up. But in my head, I'm pretty convinced of that. I think that's
the biggest, guys. In my eyes, it's I can say it's 100%. However, you have to take that on face value because me as a medium connects to spirit as most mediums do, and this is energy which I'm connected to most of the night and on our previous visit. Now these connections and going back to psychometry again, people send me lots of pictures, video footage. Our good friend Lee Steer sent me the pictures of the doll which he's using on his live feed, and it was me who personally named the doll because that name was given to me from the image, which is Elizabeth. And obviously from reviewing this footage and making the personal connections with this energy that night, me personally, and you don't have to believe me, can honestly say that this is a spirit of Rebecca, of Jennifer, who we previously communicated not only with where Vicky was on the stairs, but on other cases as well. The story was a little sad after this because I made another personal connection with her outside as we were leaving. And she showed me something which was quite sad. But you can read about that on our website, all the WSGSI West York's Neil Cook's diary, get the Thug's Life, but just a bit of fun. Go below, and there's about 200 plus words on the both times we went there. It's a really good read with a little sad ending, but it's nice and sweet, and you'll get the gist of what I'm about.
Well, I've noticed as well on this part here, it does look like a triangular shape, like if it's a head coming down the shoulder, but like a pettifour dress coming out down the sides. My opinion. I'm obviously not saying it's paranormal.
Hit pause just as that figure rises again for us, Shane, please, and I'll just mention something
you can see.
For the guys. In the corner of that room, we'd had some messages about people saying, "Oh, it's someone stood at the bar collecting something." Well, it was 12 o'clock in the morning, and the pub had been shut for over 4 hours anyway. It was just a Tuesday night. This is actually the lobby area of the building, the entrance. For people who are watching this who know, they'll know where I'm talking about. But the actual figure, if you look just to the right of that red circle there, that red circle wasn't there when we were there, but anyway, if you just look at the red circle on the screen now, directly below that is a little like corner with seats going all the way around that area. Her energy rises from that location on this side of the green background. Now, there's a pane of glass there, and inside the little square area is a lobby of the entrance to the location. And the only thing illuminating it is the security light, one of them emergency exit lights, hence the green look. But her figure, if you look at it again, it actually rises from this side of the room, and she stands up from where the chairs were, and her energy comes into the room from this side. And I think once you've been informed of the location of where she is and watch it again, you actually see a shadow this side of the room. Because initially you just focus on the backdrop and you only see the head and shoulders, but the rest of the shadow is this side of the room moving.
Right. Yeah, we've quite a few comments. Thank you, Debbie. Hi, Lynn. I think we've covered most of the people now. It won't actually let me scroll up any.
I'd like to say, just to mention Sean Jewett as well is an old friend of mine. He used to be a poleman in the rugby team, the Travellers at Featherstone, and we ended up playing together as well in the future there. So I'd just like to say a shout out to him.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Amanda. That's not your Amanda.
I'm going to say it's not my Amanda.
I'm not
She won't
words.
watch this.
It's nothing's coming up on my screen, so apologies to anyone. How that can be rectified or not, I do not know. I've got two screens going and it's on both, but for some reason I'm not getting that. It's probably me being stupid at clock that time of the night, but I'm sure you guys will catch that. What else was I going to say there? I've lost my train of thought there. Some of the bigger newspapers have been in touch with us over the last couple of days, and a good friend of ours who does the mainstream newspapers, the Sun, the Express, the Daily Mirror, and the things in that bracket. They're going to be in touch with an interview shortly. It was supposed to be today, unfortunately, because of my work commitments and hers, we've clashed. So they're going to be speaking to us tomorrow. We're going to tell them our story. They've got this evidence already. So what you will see, guys, is this being circulated again, but in the bigger tabloids, the bigger newspapers.
Alice is telling us to smile.
Smile.
Smile. Yeah, so you will see some more coverage of this, and we've actually sent it to Zach Bagan's Ghost Adventurers. And I know he's opened it because it's given me the thumbs up to say he's seen it. I did also say I know you're a busy man and you're in the middle of filming season 13, but if you could just acknowledge it as and when you're free. So I'm just waiting for a response for that. And Zach does communicate back when he gets a chance. I've had a few thumbs up off him on some of my earlier posts over the years, so let's hope we can hear from him again. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for all the flying like thumbs up, Debbie. Kept seeing your face pop up about 1 million times. Yeah, if every one of you actually hits the like button a few times on this, it will actually start popping up on your wall that you're watching this live. And also, if you scroll right to the top of the comments, there will be a little yellow thing if you're watching it on the mobile, but it'll be slightly different on a computer, and it will actually say follow or basically subscribe. And if you hit that, then every time we go live, it will automatically pop up on whatever device you normally use, just to let you know straight away, so you don't actually miss anything. You might actually not want to do that. You might be sick of hearing us talk, but that's enough.
These two, God, they talk for England, don't they?
Yeah. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, we're all pretty good. It's nice to have Andrew here. It's normally just me and Neil droning on for hours, but we've got handsome Andrew at the side of us today.
Handsome Andrew, that's wrong. Oh, I'd say Megan Hart as well. She's from the Midnight, the radio station.
Yeah, from America, yeah.
Midnight in the Desert, that's it, sorry. So I'd like to say hi to her. She's done actually loads for us over the past. But there you go.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you got anything further to actually discuss? I think we've practically covered everything we wanted to cover.
What we do in the near future, you're up my neck of the woods this week as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Me and Shane are going to go off to, if you can bring the link up, we're going to do a live feed from Wharton Castle, WHORTON, Gatehouse. Craig Whitney, if you're listening, you know what we're talking about. Wharton Castle. It's a Roman fortress gatehouse, built way back in a date I can't even remember. It's got lots of history. It was initially, I'm going to say a crossroads, but it was on a triangular 3-point crossroad where one Roman road led off to York, the other one led off across the Cumbria way from the northeast of England, and the other one led off up towards Scotland, that neck of the woods. It was another place which was invaded by Robert the Bruce and Mr. Braveheart himself, William Wallace, and later on in its life, even the Mary Queen of Scots stayed there whilst in Harden before capture. Lots of history, lots on it about Wiki. In Wiki as well. Anyone who's on my wall can go into my photo album. There's some nice pictures there. It has right next to it a 16th century Anglo-Saxon church, one of the oldest ones in this neck of the woods as well. Excuse me. And the church is obviously younger than the actual castle, but we've had some good captures up there, not only working as a medium, but there's some pictures floating about on the wall of different things we've caught. Other guys, other paranormal teams in this area use it. It's one of them English heritage locations where you can go in and out of it anytime you want. And if Shane's managed to get that,
I've just added the link into the comments of the stream now.
It's anyone who's been to Spofford Castle who's listening down in Harrogate way, you're very limited in Spofford Castle. It's a lot bigger, it's a more roomy and just as active, but this Wharton Castle place, it's double walled, which means that when it was functional, you could have walked around in all different levels within these walls. Now, fortunately, you can still do this, so you can actually go up into the levels. What you can't do is step into each room because it's just a shell, but you can connect to the residual and intelligent energy which is still within the fabric of these walls. And what I mean by that is the stone tape theory, everything which is being absorbed into the brickwork, the limestone, and the physical residual energy within the walls where people would have walked around, from the people who lived there, from the soldiers who looked after the place. It did have a drawbridge at one point. It also had a large moat around there. It is on Google Maps. It's on Castlebank Road if you need to look for it, and you can look down directly on it, zoom in. Whether the Google cars went up there and took a picture, I don't know, but it's a lot of metal detecting people go around there. It did have a battle at one point. Some of the marks are still left on the stone brickwork where whatever they were using to attack the place and to take over, obviously that energy is still attached there. But yes, We're going to go up there on a recce during the day, me and Shane. We might take Vicky as well if she's a good girl. I want Shane to get a feel of it in daylight because I don't want him to break his neck at night time. And then we're going to go back and again do a live stream, have a walk around, take our toys with us, and take my train set. I think he's got a scale electric or something and sit and play all night long. But yeah, we'll be good with him. We'll have fun. And we'll share that with you Saturday night late. Not too late because it gets dark early anyway. And we know you like the X Factor, so we won't keep you away too much from it.
Brilliant. And we know we've had Lee Steer watching, and now we've also got another person from his group watching, who's Charlene, and she's
good evening, Charlene.
Yep, she's been very kind and shared quite a few of our videos in the past, and still continues to do so. So just bring this up now. If you all have a look on the Facebook page, but actually this is the entire team here. I'm clicking on the wrong screen. There we go. That's Charlene and Lee, and then the rest of the team, and that's Henry the Eighth.
Henry the Eighth in there too.
I don't know, you've time travelled back, but it looks of that.
Done well there.
This is their Facebook page, and if you all go on Project Paranormal, give them a like. I will actually put in the link in the comments on the actual live stream in a second. If you give them a like, they are absolutely brilliant, and they've got a skeptic in there. I know Charlene's very, what's the word, sensitive, that's the word, yeah. I nearly said a different word, I can't say that. I'll probably say it anyway. I actually were going to say sensual, but I meant sensitive.
The mind was thinking one, and
but if you give them a like, they're going to be on Sky TV very soon. They're in the process of filming as we speak now. So massive. I will send out the link so you can all give them a like. Right, there we go. I'm just going to be doing that in the background, Neil, while you.
Yes, we've worked with Lee down at the museum, the Doncaster Museum. I did some filming work with Lee, which is forthcoming for Sky TV in November. So you'll get to see that on one of the paranormal channels. And obviously he has a book out as well, Lee Steer, and I've got it here. No, it's not that one. It's excuse me, Lee, but it's somewhere here. This is Lee's book. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah. Ghost Hunting Equipment Card Project revealed with Lee Steer. I've got a signed copy with his name in there. I actually acquired this before I knew Lee, but he signed it anyway. He signed me. But no, that's a good one. But yeah, I've got a signed copy. But yeah, good man, knows his stuff. He is a skeptic.
Best way to be.
We need a paranormal dog from the spirit world to run along, bite him on his bum, and he would still question it. With respect, Lee, with respect.
There we go. Right, if we've got a Tina watching or anyone like that, then your name's just been mentioned on our list. But apart from that, I don't really have anything further to say. If anyone's got any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. If not, we'll probably.
Just joined us. Good evening, Joe Scott, Susan, Ralph, Izzy. If you're watching, good evening. I don't think I've got no names coming up whatsoever because of my setup. But if I haven't mentioned yet, I'll go along and do that after the live feed anyway when I can see who's been viewing, and it's just been great. Yeah, so we're doing that, and we might be doing something next weekend after as well. You might see us out and about on our travels on a live stream. We're looking to get through to the historic town of Whitby in North Yorkshire, not the one in the stateside, and we're going to go around some of the old haunts in Whitby town centre. It's got two parts, a very old side, the 199 steps, Whitby Abbey itself and St Mary's churchyard, where we caught them three monks in a picture one time, and also have a good time and see if we can meet and greet some people and let them know what we're doing as well. And we'll feed that back to you in live streams from different locations and something else for us to talk about. If you go into Whitby the week after, it's Goth weekend. Anyone who's into the Goths and they follow it and they travel from anywhere in the UK to there, Goth weekend, it's 2 Saturdays time. I'll just get the date for you. Let me have a look. The 26th. No, I tell a lie. It's the 29th, is that right? 22nd, Goth Weekend.
Pick a number, any number.
Are you gonna black all your nails and everything? Put a black wig on.
Get your wig on again.
It'll look good.
My Victorian dress on and some rouge and lipstick and stuff.
If any of you doesn't know Whitby, it's basically the birthplace of Dracula, the most famous vampire ever. So Bram Stoker's Dracula, that's where it's basically set.
It's where the story's based on, isn't it? But there's the legend of his energy, Bram Stoker's story. It's where the fictional book was created, and one of the movies they made was actually on the 199 steps in St Mary's Churchyard. I don't know how far back that movie is, but I think Christopher Lee was in the movie as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's good for all the other things as well. My brother loved that place that much. He actually went and lived there. My brother Peter, he's lived there since '86. he just forgot to come home, but yeah, it's a nice place.
Brilliant. 32nd of Julember. Chris says Julember. That's the date when it is.
22nd, yeah. Did I get that right?
No, the
32nd.
32nd of Julember.
November Goth Weekend.
Julember
is winding us up.
And there's 32.
It's on a day of the week, which is in Y, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then. So I think that's basically it. I keep getting messages from Lee Steer, so I think I'll probably have to have a conversation with him afterwards about this OBS software. But if any of you guys do want any help with anything like that, just feel free to message me or the GSI and I'll pick it up. I'm working on a German version of Alice for one of our guests who was speaking in the comments last week, so I've just got to put all that together. So all the words what come up will actually be German, so that'll be pretty cool. And again, if any of you is Portuguese or Mexican or
Spanish speaking,
Brazilian or anything like that, then let us know and we might be able to get the language suitable for yourself.
I'm sure we can. We'll just take the English voice bank, translate it, put it back into the software, and then Bob's your uncle or your dad's brother. Any person, anything of interest, they're genuine about what they've got to tell the story about, you're welcome to join us here on our live stream. Obviously give us some notice so we can schedule you in, use guys in, lunch, yeah, I could do with some. But yeah, if you've got a story to tell, it's of interest, or there's something you're doing in your life which is connected to spiritual or paranormal, then we'd like to hear from you. Messages on our GSI West Yorkshire, North East, or through our other pages as well. And if you've got a good story to tell and you're genuine with regards to this, we're quite happy to bring you in. We can ask you about your story, you can tell our audience, and it creates a debate and another story within itself, so it gives us something else to talk about as well. So anything you may seem trivial might be exciting to someone else, so don't hold back, just let us know your stories, and obviously we'll go through what you've got to say, and we'll bring you on the show and go from there.
Okay, that's basically it then. If you've got nothing further to say, I'll bring the social media advert up and then I'll end the stream, and we'll speak to you all hopefully next week when we have Cindy. If not, she'll probably be on the week after.
Good evening, guys. Thank you for joining us, and in whatever other part of the world you are, good morning, good afternoon, and yeah,
good evening.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Take care, guys.
See you later. Stay safe.